It is the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're here every single day from 5 to 6 talking about the local issues that matter to you most and taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222, your emails at randykabc@gmail.com, and search for the KABC News Blitz wherever you get your podcasts. It is a time for celebration in Los Angeles. Apparently, we are flush with cash. A couple days ago, the mayor, Karen Bass, announced that we don't have a deficit anymore. We don't have to lay anybody off. We found out yesterday that we've got $1 million lying around for a toilet in Runyon Canyon. And now it looks like the LA City Council and the mayor are going through with a multi-billion-dollar renovation of the Los Angeles Convention Center. They say we need to redo the convention center and make it bigger because we're losing out on conventions that instead go to Long Beach or Anaheim or San Diego or San Francisco or Vegas. And they don't want to come here because our convention hall isn't big enough. I don't know if that's it. There's also something else that is very different about the LA Convention Center compared to the Long Beach Convention Center, the Anaheim Convention Center, the legendary San Diego Convention Center, and the Moscone Center in San Francisco. And, of course, the Las Vegas one. And that might be that the LA Convention Center is in a very bad neighborhood. Long Beach one's in downtown Long Beach, which is a very ritzy part of Long Beach now. Anaheim Convention Center is right next to Disneyland. The San Diego Convention Center is right in the gas lamp near Petco. I've been to Comic-Con once. It was a crazy, wild, incredible time. But boy, do you got to get real close to people. Good thing they're all in costume. San Francisco's got the Moscone Center, and they'll clean that thing up real nice when they have the Asian Pacific Conference. And, of course, the Vegas Convention Center is right in the heart of the Strip. But the LA Convention Center is on Figueroa, near where downtown starts to get real dicey. So is it really wise to spend all of this money revitalizing the LA Convention Center and bringing in this traffic if we don't do something about the underlying neighborhood first? Because even the local electeds now will admit that there's a crime problem, there's a prostitution problem, and there's a homeless problem in downtown LA. However, there are multiple theories going on as to how to solve it. Because if you listen to the head of the tourism board or Karen Bass or the members of the city council, just by rebuilding this convention center, there's going to be so much foot traffic. There's going to be so many people walking around that everyone's going to instantly feel safe. So that's one theory. A competing theory might be that if you cleaned up downtown LA, got rid of all the illegal dumping, got rid of all the tents, the prostitution, and dealt with the crime in a real way, and people felt safe in that area the way they kind of do in the Staples Center, but not much beyond that, maybe more people would go downtown. But let's hear them out, although not everybody's on board with Los Angeles going ahead and investing billions of dollars to revitalize the convention center in a very bad neighborhood. Why don't we move this thing? Ever thought about that? What would have been perfect for this was all that land that the Rams just bought in Woodland Hills for the training center. But whatever, it should be in downtown LA because that's the heart of the city, even though this city's too damn big. Can we just admit that? It's way too big.
Well, I can tell you that the mayor's plan sounds great for Los Angeles, but there are critics, and that includes LAPD Commander Lillian Carranza, who has been with the department for 36 years.
Oh, this is so great. So this is the commander of the LAPD that started posting on social media about how awful the 6th Street Bridge is and how embarrassing it is that we spent all this money on a bridge and it doesn't have lights. It's full of graffiti and street takeovers. What's going on here is this commander of LAPD is speaking out for one reason and one reason only. She's about to retire, so she no longer gives any bleeps.
She says that before the city spends billions on a new project, they should consider fixing the landmarks they have neglected for years.
The expansion of the convention center is much more than just another project. It is an investment in our city, an investment in our economy, and it's a major step forward in the effort to revitalize downtown LA.
We've got to invest in this community if we want to make it cleaner, if we want to make it safer. But we don't want to get accused of gentrification, so we can't sweep out the homeless.
Mayor Karen Bass announces a $2.6 billion convention center expansion, saying the project will bring jobs.
By the way, when they were debating this earlier this year, one of the funniest things was, even though this project only now got approved because they've been talking about it for 10 years, they have spent, and I think I'm correct on this number, $60 million on consultants in the last 10 years for a project that still hasn't happened.
Growth and a cleaner downtown Los Angeles.
And
why don't we clean it now? Can we do that while you're building and rebuilding this thing? Why does it take the Olympics to the World Cup, to use a Karen Bassism because she likes to drop her D's, or the Super Bowl to be like, well, we're going to get so much foot traffic, the city's going to get clean? Why can't we clean the city now, make sure it is safe, get all the people who don't want to play by our rules out of here, and then all of these things will come, the investment will come.
And while we will do everything to fast track this project in a fiscally responsible way, we will also continue to focus on the overall revitalization of downtown LA, including safety and cleanliness, which is at the center.
Can we focus on that now? What was it, 2 weeks ago? We had that story of the pallets of fruit that get dumped in downtown LA every single day, and an entire corridor just smells like rotten fruit and nobody picks it up.
But while the mayor is making big promises, critics say the city has neglected downtown Los Angeles for years, leaving some of its most visible landmarks decayed and ignored.
It is demoralizing to see the state.
I mean, you look at, again, to use an example of the 6th Street Bridge, we spent a whole lot of money putting a beautiful infrastructure project in a bad neighborhood. And what happened? We let it get destroyed within 3 years.
It is demoralizing to see the state of the city. I mean, you look at our beautiful skyline of downtown LA, and what do you see? An eyesore. You see 3 graffiti towers.
Oh, that's right. Did you know that the LA Convention Center is right next to the Tagger Towers that are still standing there full of graffiti a year and a half later after the whole world came to Los Angeles to tour the Tagger Towers? Yeah, I'm dropping my D's now, too, in honor of you, Karen Bass.
And it is embarrassing because we become, in a sense, the laughingstock of other cities. And
yep. And that's if that tower is still there by the time the Olympics come, oh boy, are we going to be a laughingstock.
And even some other cities in the world. How is that allowed to occur here in Los Angeles?
Well, you know how. You're just being coy. We know why. It is the people that are in charge, notably the people who have been in charge of downtown LA.
LAPD Commander Lillian Carranza says she's fed up with how local officials have let downtown LA slip. She points to the 6th Street Bridge, covered in graffiti and left dark for more than a year. The 3rd Street Tunnel tells the same story, and even the towers across from the convention center are tagged from top to bottom.
Yep. And, I've had to go to the convention center a time or two in my day for work events. Used to work at a radio station that did backstage at the Grammys, where you interviewed D-list celebrities and put them on the radio late at night. And I didn't even know where I was supposed to park the first time I went down there. But the whole area felt kind of scary. And that was in 2007.
There are a myriad of reasons as to why we have gotten to where we're at now. One of them being zero bail, the progressive policies that we have seen.
Wow, she really doesn't care anymore. Isn't it incredible how, and you see this too, like members of Congress aren't honest about anything until they're about to retire. And then all of a sudden they're straight shooters. And this is true on both parties. It is. But the LAPD has to be in line with what Karen Bass has to say, especially the LAPD chief. Even though Jim McDonnell's a good guy, he has to toe the company line. But this commander who's about to retire doesn't care anymore, and she's speaking the truth.
A myriad of reasons as to why we have gotten to where we're at now. One of them being zero bail, the progressive policies that we have seen, and some of elected leaders that they do not like working with the police department.
You mean like Isabel and Nithya and Hugo and Ulysses?
Carranza says the current policies have created a revolving door. Officers arrest taggers and other offenders, but they're quickly released back onto the streets, making it harder to keep downtown clean and safe. She says city officials need to work with the LAPD to really make a difference.
No, we don't. We just need ambassadors and crisis response teams and everything else.
This be a premier city that can host not only the World Cup, but the Olympics in 2028. We need to work in partnership and collaborate. And we need their support just like they need our support in order to serve the community that we all love so much.
Problem is, you have a good portion of the LA City Council that just does not believe in the concept of policing. They believe, well, actually, I'm not even going to say it because I believe it gets mentioned in this report.
Councilwoman Isabel Jurado issued a statement that says, in part, public safety begins with the equitable delivery of city services that strengthen neighborhoods and improve the quality of life.
I'm sorry, what now?
Councilwoman Isabel Jurado issued a statement that says, in part, public safety begins with the equitable delivery of city services that...
Public safety begins with the equitable delivery of city services. What does that mean? And why, oh why in Los Angeles do we keep voting for these people? Now, I know it was between her and Kevin De Leon, but that is embarrassing.
Councilwoman Isabel Jurado issued a statement that says, in part, public safety begins with the equitable delivery of city services that strengthen neighborhoods and improve the quality of life. That's why our office has already taken swift action to add the 6th Street Bridge to weekly graffiti abatement routes and expand cleanup services across.
What does it say that you need to have crews go clean up the graffiti on 6th Street Bridge every week? It tells you that this culture of dirtiness, filthiness, graffiti, crime, homelessness is tolerated and is accepted by our local elected officials. We don't want to do anything about the people who are spraying the graffiti. We don't want to treat that like an actual crime of defacing property. So we're just going to clean it up every week. How's that going to look when the world gets here?
Across Council District 14. The statement goes on to say that relighting the bridge should be taken care of in the fall.
And then the lights will get stolen again.
Marla, Susan?
Gina, do you think the Commander Carranza has the ear of the mayor? Has she had an opportunity to express herself to the mayor?
Of course not.
It doesn't sound like she does. I really don't know the answer to that, Susan. I know that she's been very vocal about it. She has expressed her feelings on social media. And she's also going to be retiring very soon. So she feels a little bit more free to speak her mind.
I kind of wish everyone felt as free to speak their mind as a police commander that's retiring in a few weeks. Because we should hear more when people disagree with the status quo that's coming from the city. But hey, I think we all want a successful convention center. Don't know if it really needed to be updated. Again, I don't know if the reason the LA Convention Center doesn't get as much business as Long Beach or Anaheim is because it's not big enough or because it's in a bad neighborhood. So, why don't I pose that question to you? At 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. The LA City Council and Karen Bass have approved a multi-billion-dollar renovation of the Los Angeles Convention Center. They say we need to spend billions remodeling the convention center because it's just not big enough and we're losing business to Long Beach, Anaheim, San Diego, and Vegas. Do you think conventions avoid Los Angeles because that hall's not big enough? Or do you think conventions avoid Los Angeles because that convention hall is in a dangerous part of town? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Let's start with Dale in Long Beach. Dale, hello.
Yeah, Randy, it's in the dangerous part of town. You know, Las Vegas made $77 million in rent last year. You know how much Los Angeles Convention Center made? $3.4 million. 3.4 million.
My goodness, that's a big difference.
They're going to need $100 million to cover that loan. How come they never tell us the interest rate? The $2.6 billion, is that what we're going to have to pay back, or is that what we get and then we have to pay back more with the interest?
Well, not only that, but whatever they say the project's going to cost today, it's going to cost way more than that because materials go up. Labor costs are going to go up. There's going to be issues. This is going to cost way more than it is. And what I'm afraid of is that we're going to see what happened with the 6th Street Bridge. We're going to have this beautiful thing in a rotten neighborhood that's going to get destroyed.
According to my computer, it wouldn't cost that much money to build a brand new one.
Well, sometimes it's about how much money you can spend because that's how much money you can give to the union so they can give it back to you in donations. Thanks so much for the call, Dale. Appreciate it. 800-222-KABC is the phone number, 1-800-222-5222. Do you think the LA Convention Center should be remodeled? The city says we got to redo this convention center and spend almost $3 billion because we're losing business to Vegas and Anaheim and Long Beach. Do you think conventions avoid Los Angeles because of the size of that hall? Or do you think conventions avoid Los Angeles because that convention hall is in downtown LA? 800-222-KABC. 1-800-222-5222. Get on the line right now. I'd love to hear what you think about this, as the city of LA is spending billions of dollars of your money to redo the LA Convention Center in a terrible neighborhood. 800-222-KABC. 1-800-222-5222. If you're on hold, stay on hold. We'll get to your calls next. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. We're taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. The LA City Council and Karen Bass have approved a $2.8 billion plan to revitalize the LA Convention Center. Do you think it's wise to invest nearly $3 billion in a convention center in a bad neighborhood without cleaning it up first? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Let's go to Paul in Saugus. Paul, hello.
Hey, Randy, good evening.
Hey.
I'm worried you might be getting a little cynical, but I'd like to point out that I think it's absolutely a great idea to do that and put that money into that because, I mean, these are the people that brought us high-speed rail. So what could possibly go wrong? Have a good night, buddy.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much for the call, Paul. Appreciate it. Let's go to Hector in Southgate. Hector, hello.
Yes, thank you. Yes, I say no. That's a big waste of money. She should use that to clean up downtown LA and get rid of the homeless. My sister had her car stolen there. It's full of criminals and walking around blind-headed zombies. It's a mess there. Very dangerous area. It's a waste of money.
I think you make a really strong point.
Yeah, clean up downtown LA and get rid of those homeless. Put them in mental institutions or in prisons. That's where they all belong.
Well, I think a lot of people would agree with you on that one, Hector. Thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. 1-800-222-5222. The LA Convention Center is getting a nearly $3 billion remodel. The city of LA says we're losing all kinds of business to other convention halls, even Fresno, because our convention center isn't big enough. Do you think other conventions avoid Los Angeles because our hall is too small? Or do they avoid LA because the LA Convention Center is in a bad neighborhood? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. If you're on hold, stay on hold to get right back to your calls. Next, it's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. It is the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're here every single day from 5 to 6 talking about the local issues that matter to you most and taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC. 1-800-222-5222. Your emails at randykabc@gmail.com and search for the KABC News Blitz wherever you get your podcasts. We're taking your phone calls right now at 800-222-KABC. 1-800-222-5222. Karen Bass and the LA City Council have approved a $2.8 billion project to revitalize and redo the LA Convention Center. They say it's not big enough and we're losing business to Fresno. My question to you at 800-222-KABC, is it really wise to invest that kind of money into the convention center without cleaning up that neighborhood first? Because that is a bad part of town. 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Let's go to Mark in Fullerton. Mark, hello.
Hey, Randy, how you doing? I just
great.
wanted to point out that this is not about cleaning up the streets in LA. It's not about remodeling the sports arena. It's all about graft and how much the city council and Mayor Bass can steal from the $2.6 billion they say they're going to spend.
Well, and to that point, a lot of this money is going to very well-connected labor unions, and guess what kind of support Karen Bass is going to need next year in a re-election? The support of the labor unions.
Well, exactly. It's part of the money laundering that goes on between the unions and the politicians.
And that's why it doesn't matter if they clean up the city. It's about spending the money. It doesn't matter if the place gets destroyed in the year, because then they'll need you spend more money to fix it. Thanks so much for the call, Mark. Appreciate it. Let's go to a different Mark. Mark in Costa Mesa. Mark, hello.
Hello, Randy. How are you?
Doing great.
So I've been to hundreds of trade shows around California and all across the U.S., both as an attendee and an exhibitor for the last 30 years. And I can tell you, industries choose locations that people want to go to. Nobody wants to go to downtown L.A. for a trade show. There's no good hotels within walking distance. The downtown area around the convention center is terrible. I mean, when you compare it to somewhere like San Diego, I mean, San Diego is a paradise. Vegas is awesome. But those are great places to have a convention. If you're going to have several hundred companies show up and put a lot of money into this trade show, you want a really nice setting, and LA just isn't it. It's not the size. There's plenty of trade shows that would, not even fill half that hall that don't come to LA. It's not the cost, even though the unions do drive the cost up quite a bit for the union labor to do all the trade show setup and stuff. It's just the setting. They got to clean it up or just not even bother because I think it's too far gone, in my opinion.
And what do you think of the theory that Karen Bass is putting out there that, well, if we just build this thing, there'll be so much foot traffic that it'll be safer?
That's a pipe dream. She would have to build out literally 6 blocks in every direction, hotels, restaurants, bars, a nicer area to be in. And look at San Diego. They got the gas lamp district directly across the street from the convention center. Look at LA or Vegas, right? You've got the entire strip up and down both ways from 2 different convention centers. LA is not going to compete against that unless they redo their entire city.
I think you make a really, really, really strong point. Thanks so much for the call, Mark. Appreciate it. And to that point, if you just do some Google mapping, you look at the overhead view of the surrounding area. Of course, Mark just talked about the gas lamp and the San Diego Convention Center. And yeah, that is as perfect as it can get. Beautiful part of town, great restaurants. You feel safe walking everywhere. The current city keeps jacking up the parking there, but that's a different topic for a different day. Look at the Long Beach Convention Center. It's right on Shoreline Drive. It's on the water. It's near that Gladstone's. It's beautiful there. Look at the Anaheim Convention Center. It's a mile south of Disneyland, one of the most iconic places in the whole world. And look at the LA Convention Center. It's a mile away from Skid Row. Let's go to Alan in Canoga Park. Alan, hello.
Hi, Randy. This is a legacy issue for Cameron Bass because it's not going to be $2.8 billion to build that. It's going to be $5.6 billion because we have a loan that's going to cost the city of Los Angeles $150 billion a year, just $150 million a year to pay off. And she wants a legacy. She wants the Karen Bass bathroom in Pavilion number 4. That's what she wants. Just like when you walk around the city, there's so many areas that are named after council people or whatever that nobody's ever heard about, but they have their name on something. So this is a total scam for the city of Los Angeles, and they should just put this in a dirt pile and just forget about it. I hate the city. I hate these people that vote just for graft. It's terrible. Why people vote for these
Alan,
for the city is just horrible.
You make such a strong point about this nonsensical legacy. Thank you so much for the call. If I had my way, I would start collecting signatures for a citizens initiative banning politicians from putting their name on anything. Do you know how many bridges and how many different plaques we have all around the city that are dedicated to convicted felon Mark Ridley Thomas? Do you know how weird it is? I once or twice, maybe about once a year, I go up to the Ford Theater because, sometimes the Improvised Shakespeare Theater Company plays there. And that's a beautiful theater. It's gorgeous there. And it's so weird when you go up to the food hall and you see the Sheila Kuehl Pavilion. Stop it. You go to the Hollywood Bowl. One side of it's named after Antonovich. The other side of it is named after Yaroslavsky. Just stop it. No more naming things after politicians. No. Let's go to Nick in Arcadia. Nick, hello.
Yeah, I'm really upset. They talk about the billions of dollars that will do the refurbishing, but who's paying for it? People lose sight. Bass isn't printing this money. She's taking it from our tax base. It's insane. These people ought to be put in jail just for thinking of trying to take $1 billion from the taxpayers to refurbish that downtown disaster. I built a bunch of buildings downtown, and down there at night at 2, 3 in the morning, I was looking at the parking area, which is all blacktop, and you could hardly see, and I thought something's moving. And it turned out I put my flashlight on, and it was about 100 rats all through the floor there on the parking area. I'm going, holy Christ. I mean, we got to clean up our city, but they don't do it. Just like the potholes, everything else. They got other ways of spending our money. And I'm a little upset. I think about moving out of the state, but I'm 78 and I don't want to go. All right. Thank you.
I feel your pain, Nick. I feel your pain. Call in and vent to us anytime. Yeah. Unless we do something about the problem of illegal dumping, we're going to have rats. Unless we do something about the tents, we're going to have rats. So, or is it really a wise choice to spend billions of dollars on a loan to rebuild this convention center if we're not going to clean up the city around it? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Do you think it's wise to spend billions of dollars revitalizing the LA Convention Center when we know that it's in a bad neighborhood? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. If you're on hold, stay on hold. We're getting right back to your calls next. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. Let's get back to the phones. Your thoughts on revitalizing the convention center with billions of dollars in loans. Let's go to Michelle in Santa Clarita. Michelle, hello.
Hi, Randy. You know, your caller, Mark, was absolutely right. There's an absolutely for you. Nobody wants to go to the convention center. It's garbage. No matter how pretty you make it, nobody wants to go, and it costs a lot of money. So why don't we convert that space in an already bad neighborhood to perhaps a county jail or prison to house the prisoners we need to house, and maybe take part of it and build a state hospital to deal with the drug addicted and mentally ill so that they have a space in LA that they can go to for help. And then that will earn money because they'll be getting money from the state and feds or whomever to sustain it, and it'll actually serve a purpose in LA. The convention center's a waste. I've lived here 60 years. I've never once gone there since they got rid of the Hofbrauhaus a million years ago.
I think you make a very wise point as to what could be done with that space. Until we clean up the city, we don't deserve nice things, and this is a waste of money. Thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. Let's go to Richard in L.A. Richard, hello.
Hey, Randy, great show. Well, you know, I'm born in L.A., so I know before the convention, the Staples Center wasn't even there. But as you could see, we do need that, the investment of Los Angeles too. I think that's a great idea because we own the airport and that's Gruen Architect put what we're looking up now. That's money right there in the city. So under the plan, I guess USC, you see the buildings up there. That's their plan to bring those high rise towards USC, and you see actually they have a couple of projects right next to the convention center that's already been paid for to be rebuilt. So we're going to look at some skyscrapers right next to there. So not like Cuisinart's project there, you know, that's another issue. But I think that's a great idea to keep the money in the city and expand the city. We have beautiful buildings in the city. And why not continue that?
Yeah, but is it wise to spend all that money when if we don't clean up the surrounding neighborhood, it's just going to get trashed like the 6th Street Bridge?
Well, it's just like USC used to be the trash school, but looking at it now, it takes time to rebuild. And poor, we're looking at the homeless, it's just the poor. Those are poor people without homes. So it's not to say that is against it. Nobody it wants to be like that, for instance. But another thing, it costs money to fix the problem. And that's the only way you're going to do it. It's not throwing money. It's using the money wisely. It's putting jobs in the city. And the convention center of any first-class city, you got to have a good convention center. And that's a great idea.
Well, thank you so much for the call, Richard. Appreciate it. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. 1-800-222-5222. If you're on hold, stay on hold. More of your calls coming up next. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. Let's go back to the phones and go to Scott in Hollywood. Scott, hello.
Hi, Randy. good question. But a better question is, when are we all going to learn? I grokked it. I grokked the question, how many projects in the past 10 years in the city of Los Angeles have gone over budget? According to the Cato Institute and McKinsey, 90% have gone over budget. It's not going to be $3 billion. It's going to be more than $3 billion of money we do not have. Tracy Park said that it would cost $10 billion. Councilwoman Tracy Park stated it would cost $10 billion to repair our sidewalks. How much for the roads? Who knows? Nearly every road is broken. This is a bad idea. We're spending money we don't have. I just can't believe that we're actually doing this when we're already $1 billion in the hole.
Well, that's LA for you. Thanks so much for the call, Scott. Appreciate it. Let's go to Roger in Upland. Roger, hello.
Hi, Randy. I'm a retired general contractor, and every time I hear about the cost of rebuilding something or repairing it, I think, well, what did it cost to just bulldoze it and build a new one? $3 billion to fix that place up. I just cannot believe that it could cost that much. These people waste money as fast as they might as well get a printing press and print it.
Well, especially when it's a convention hall, like, outside of the fixtures outside and the main things, it's mostly just empty space inside.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And, most of it is already laid out. It could be used for what it was originally built for. Or the lady who had the idea about making it into a prison. Maybe that would be a really good use for it.
Well, there you go. Thanks so much for the call, Roger. Appreciate it. Let's go to Ray in Redondo Beach. Ray, hello.
Hi. The public sector unions, that is the biggest conflict of interest ever, because they donate money to all these political figures that get jobs to approve their contracts. Isn't that the biggest conflict of interest ever? If a business went in there and went to someone and said, we'll give you $1 million if you take our contract, they go to jail for that. But the unions aren't going to jail. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, as Doug McIntyre used to say, the worst kind of corruption that goes on in Los Angeles is the kind that's legal. Thanks so much for the call, Ray. Appreciate it. Let's go to Rose in Marina Del Rey. Rose, hello.
Hey, Randy, listen, I just came back from Boston, and I want to tell you something. They have a new convention center at their Seaport area. It is fantastic. Yeah, it's an open, place, like you just said. However, surrounding it it's unbelievable. The incredible restaurants, the hotels. You could get to the airport. It's only 7 miles. And they have just gentrified this entire area down there. The seafood comes right off the boat. I don't know who in the world would choose an LA convention center over that one, unless it's in the middle of February when they get their bad weather. But, it's a waste of money. It's a total job creation for the union, and it has nothing to do with outside people coming here to have a convention. And Bass knows that. She absolutely knows.
Well, it could be the prettiest building in the world if the surrounding streets still are full of tents and crime and prostitution and trash. I don't think people are going to come. Thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. Great calls. Great discussion. Love it when we get a disengaged audience here every single day from 5 to 6. Just a programming note, you're going to hear a Best of the News Blitz tomorrow at 5, because tomorrow from noon to 3, I'll be down at the Universal Hilton with John Phillips as we hang out with the Union Rescue Mission for their Over the Edge event. If you want to be a part of that event, you want to participate, go to urm.org/OTE. Thank you all so much for listening. It's such a pleasure to bring this show to you every single day, especially because I get to do it from home and I didn't have to deal with a commute after this, so I'm in a really good mood. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC.